We've got Jet Huff, a 5'8" sophomore transfer from College Station, Texas, by way of Houston. He was a walk-on at Houston. I remember this man when I did some more digging because they do show the Texas High School Championships on Bally Sports. I remember watching this man. I did not know he was only 5'8". I do not care, okay? I really don't care. I mean, you look now, Russell Wilson, they claim he's 5'11", he's probably like 5'9". Same with Kyler Murray, right? The fact remains that this is a very good quarterback. Obviously, this is high school film. What struck out to me the most, though, is the touch on the deep ball. Yeah, because we've had problems the past 2 years hitting the deep ball. It was a tremendous problem for us last year, right? He does a good job of putting enough touch, not too much touch on it. Climbs the pocket well. Felt like at times we weren't getting that last year. He sees the field well. He doesn't get rattled. He offers mobility, though I think he's a burner, like legit running threat, not necessarily, but I do like he offers enough to not be stationary. He does fit the ball into tight windows. If I had to compare, I kind of got. I want to say it was Will Collins vibe because Will Collins, I think, describes more of the next guy. But maybe Cooper Wilcox-ish, I guess, is when I was going for there because, like, it looks. I don't know. It doesn't always look sound when you're watching him, but like the results are usually good. I think this is a guy that should be able to come in because obviously we would like to think Dawson would be the front runner for the job. Right, Steph has graduated. We've got two red shirts in Connor Kirby and Carson Trimble. Right, I don't know how long they are. We saw 3-4 drives out of Carson, and I granted, two of them resulted in scoring drives, and then we saw one drive out of Connor, right? So I feel like the quarterback job's still probably open. Obviously, I feel like Dawson should have a stranglehold on that. But like Jet is, if Jet's in the game, I'm not worried about not having production. Okay, so like, yeah, so I think this is a good pickup. The 5'8" does not worry me. I mean, we can roll him out. There's a lot you can do. I just like the fact that he's good on the run. He moves well in the pocket. He climbs the pocket. Right, he's not a run first. He's still looking to throw it. It's a run as a last result, and he does have good touch on the deep ball, which, again, we do need to hit. Now, they also went out and signed another quarterback, senior Caleb Parton, 5'11", 190, from Brandon, Mississippi, Northwest Rankin High School via Central Arkansas. You recall last year, that is where Danny Armstead came from. Now, I will say the film is from his JUCO time at Mississippi Delta. I will say, when I'm watching Caleb Parton, he looks really good. Okay, I said it. My main points is he doesn't panic when the plays break down. I think that's always important. We don't get rattled. We don't just start throwing things. He gives me a gunslinger vibe. He gives me more of a Will Collins-esque vibe. Right, if you were there in 2018, because 2019 Will Collins was not the answer. If you were to a 2018 Will Collins, you're getting the same thing, right? He takes calculated risk. There's some throws you're like we could probably take the safer route, but it works. It works, and I think you have to know when to take the risk and when not to take the risk. He has a lot of juice, right? To me, the arm strength is really good. Like if you're seeing the zip on the ball is different, right? I said that last year after the Kearney game with Steph, right, when we saw the zip on the ball. That's just zip we have not seen, quite frankly. We just have not seen a lot of that. That's refreshing to see. He drives the ball downfield well, and when I mean that, it's not like he's floating it out there, but he's literally driving the ball down the field, but doing it accurately. A lot of the time, when you get people that's driving the ball down the field, it usually results in like overthrows. It's not as accurate. His is pretty darn accurate. He still offers good touch on the passes there. He doesn't lose arm strength when he's not set. Like you're seeing when he's throwing on the run, on rollouts, he's not planted. He's still getting plenty of arm strength behind it right there. That's very good. Okay, that's very good because some quarterbacks do lose that when they're not able to set up. I think he offers more mobility than Jet Huff. His hurdle plays claims his 4.6 speed. I think with Caleb here, I think this is a guy that's going to push Dawson extremely well. I think we got a quality. We've got two quarterbacks I feel like we can win with, right? Now that wasn't always the case. That was the case every year up until 2022. Right? I didn't have much faith in what was his name? The guy from Union, the OSU transfer. That should tell you a lot right there. I can't remember the man's name. I didn't have much faith if Steph went down, right? I think now, again, if we get Dawson to tone down the interception, play within the offense, we get the Missouri Southern version of Dawson. We've got two quarterbacks I truly feel like we can win with here. I still think you can use Caleb in running situations, much like you probably could Connor or Kirby too. So I think there's a lot we can do with that. I was really impressed with Caleb. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about that. We'll have two senior quarterbacks. And I think we're still set up well because obviously we got to see what they bring in here on National Signing Day. And then we still got two red shirts in Connor Kirby and Carson Trimble along with Jet Huff, who's just a sophomore. So I think that room is looking good. I think both those guys have great potential for us. So I'm very pleased about how that shook out. Looking at running back, there's two. First, you've got redshirt freshman Malik Murphy, 6 foot, 200 pounds, from Chickasha by way of East Central. Now, I will say, I say this and I preface this because every time I say the man has Le'Veon Bell-esque running, Le'Veon Bell-esque running style. People always look at me crazy. When I say that, I mean patience as a runner. Right? He doesn't just get the ball and immediately floor it. He waits to find the hole, then he accelerates through the hole. He accelerates through the hole extremely fast, extremely quickly. I think he has breakaway speed. I know the high school speed different from college speed. Obviously, the man redshirted last year. I think he has the breakaway speed. He reminds me of a more finesse version of Will Mason. When we saw Will Mason out of Coweta, right? I said he's more of a down. He's going to run through you. I think we saw that when he got in there against Lincoln, right? You saw that. Malik's more of a I'm going to make you miss. I'm going to do a bunch of cuts. He doesn't have the power of Will. Obviously, Will's 20 pounds heavier. Okay, but it's kind of the same, right? They have good vision. They hit the hole extremely well. This could be a very good 1-2 punch. I'm being 100% serious here. This should be a very good 1-2 punch. The one thing I wish the film had shown more what Malik could do in the pass game. There was one catch that wasn't a screen, but you can't gauge a lot off of one catch. But if he is competent in the pass game, that's very good, I think, because again, we also got to my knowledge, Blaze Ball was there off red shirt. Jalen Contrell is also a very good receiving back. There's no reason why we can't possibly have a 3-man rotation back there. But I think Malik definitely will have a defined role But to me, I think him and Will Mason long term could be a really good duo that we really haven't had. I mean, we really haven't had a good duo. It's always been like one main bell cow. I mean, it went from in 2017. It was 2017. Everybody was hurt. 2018 was Clay McKenzie. 2019 was T.J. Roberts. 2021 was Jace. 2022 kind of ended up being Jalen Cottrell and Nasir, I guess you could say, was a duo. I know one really didn't. Jace was in the doghouse. And then last year, obviously, it was Trayvon. So, but yeah, no. So I'm really high on what we're seeing out of Malik Murphy. And speaking of Trayvon, obviously the man is gone now. The next guy, I feel like reminds me a whole lot of Trayvon. They might not be as explosive as Trayvon, but I'm telling you, 5'10", 225-pound junior, Quincy Thomas from Humble, Texas, Atascosa High School by way of Trinity Valley Community College. Ran for 32 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. Tell you right now, downhill runner, accelerates through the hole extremely well. I mean, extremely well. Like you're like being shot out of a cannon. Well, I think will really shine where we struggled last year in that short yardage. But again, I think it was the play calling more so. We just be running it every time. It's just again go back to the Eagle scrum until they ban it, please. But I think that's where he will really shine. I don't think he has as much speed as Trayvon did. Like I'm unsure of the breakaway speed. A lot of the runs that you're seeing here, they're not like long gainers, right? They're not they're like 50, 60, 70 yarders. So I'm unsure about that. I mean, I feel like we have home run hitters that we just alluded to with Malik Murphy, right? Blaze Ball's a home run hitter. God, my voice is tracking bad. Blaze Ball's a home run hitter, right? Will Mason's a home run hitter. So like we got home run hitters. It's not the biggest deal breaker if that's not the case. But when we need the tough yards, right? This is a guy that we can go to. He runs with good pad level, doesn't go down on first contact, takes 3 or 4 defenders to bring him down. Doesn't shy away from contact either, right? So I'm really liking what we're getting here. I know came in, played against him, and Juco has vouched for him. So I think we've got 2 really good backs to add to a solid room. You've got to give running backs coach Justin Scullin here a ton of credit. That might be the most talented running back room really in my time covering, because if we're being 100% honest there, Jalen Cottrell could probably start. You've got I'm telling you right now, Will Mason again is going to be a very good player in a USO uniform, right? Like you still got, Blaze Ball off a red shirt, Brendan Tolbert off a red shirt. You still got Andrew Carney in the fold, to my knowledge. Like that's a very deep and talented room that is very tough to have in this day and age. So you got to give Coach Governor credit for going out and adding more to that room. So I just want to give him a ton of credit there because he's got 2 really good backs. Then moving to tight end, where we have lost Oscar Hammond to North Texas and then lost Landon Tomlinson to transfer as well. So obviously we're needing some people there. We've got a really good and unique player, in my opinion, in junior Cody Brown, 6'5", 240, from Pensacola, Florida, Tate High School via Tyler Junior College. So obviously, if you're looking just off rip, that size is nothing to overlook. He's got 4.7 speeds. Just to tell you right now, he's not going to win a whole lot of foot races. I contest we don't need him to. Again, Dominic Dunn, I feel like can be more of your downhill threat from that tight end position. To me, he reminds me of a mix between Dante McGee and Marshall Tolson. If you're new, Marshall Tolson graduated in 2019, I think it was. what was regarded around the conference as one of, if not the best blocking H-back. If you're looking at how Cody was used, it's a lot similar to how we use Dante McGee. He was in the backfield some. He was on the line of scrimmage some, right? He split out wide some. He has good hands. I think where he will shine will be in the red zone. Again, we just throw it up to the man. Similar to how we did Oscar a few times there. However, Oscar was 220. He's 240, so he should be able to box out smaller defenders in that situation there. I thought he was a stout blocker. Really got on his block quick and stayed on the block there. Again, he's got good hands. I think. I mean, obviously, if you're losing Oscar. That's obviously special talent. Again, I think the room is still solid because again, I think we get Randy Nick stronger. I was very pleased what we saw out of him as a true freshman there, right? To me, he's a tremendous blocker. He could be your sixth lineman. So with Cody, we get almost like a poor man's Dante McGee, and not as athletic as Dante was, but I think in that similar mode, he can do similar things, which, I mean, maybe we missed that some last year. I still contest, though, you had to have seen freshman through junior Dante to get the full appreciation. But regardless, though, I think this is a big pickup, though. I think this could definitely help the red zone a little bit. I mean, we throw it up to him, right? Again, I contest. Well, Christian Romero 6'4", right? I think Madison 6'3", right? Right, Dominic Dunn is 6'3", 6'4". We should have the size now. Should be able to open up that play calling, throw some fades, but no, I'm very pleased by what we see out of Cody Brown and that tight end unit. Moving on to perhaps a very underrated group, because we are losing Lane, we are losing Cooper McCoy. That's on the offensive line. We signed, I'm telling you right now, 3 really good offensive linemen. Okay, we know this was a position. All right, it was better. It was better as the year went on. But we got some guys. The first one is Junior Adam Garina. I hope I'm saying that man's name right. 6'2", 280 from Fresno, California, Clovis North High School by way of Fresno City Community College. He plays guard in the center. Is very good. We got that versatility there because again, Lane is center, Lane is guard. I know we have Walker Peck. I'm not sure if we still have Kellen Holmson or not. But regardless, it's good that he can play 2 spots. The injuries happen. We saw it with Kamen and Montreal last year. That forced Lane to play some guard, and they have Walker Peck in that center. So the more versatility we can have, the better. He engages quickly and moves defenders out of the way, right? That's something we've also got to do because, again, the running backs can't do anything if you're blocking in the way of the hole. He finishes the blocks. He's smart, knows when to disengage and get to the second level, which is very key. You notice you'll be watching sometimes guys really whiff on the first level, immediately go into the second level, but then the first level guy makes the play. Or in other times you see guys that just stay on the first level. When had they got to the second level, the run would have been, bigger and longer. He does a good job of knowing when to disengage and when not to. He pulls well again. I mean, we had success with that last year with Kamen pulling. It just opens up a lot more in your run game, especially for the outside runs. I think he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. He kind of gives up a little bit more ground on pass protection than you would like for a 280-pound guy. I mean, it's sufficient enough where if he's in there, like, I'm not worried about him giving up 50 sacks, but I think the run blocking is where he shines, which is fine because, again, the vast majority of our runs are up the middle, the downhill runs. So I think we've got a good guard center here, some versatility. Will he start? I don't know, because you like to think if Kamen hopefully comes back 100% from that injury. We know Marshall Lee was banged up some last year, which is why they had to move Lane there. So I'm not gonna say he's a shoe in the start. I think he'll push. Definitely push. But he's got another transfer coming in as well. Junior Turner Hilburn, 6'2", 310 from Roy City, Texas. Roy City High School, Navarro Junior College. It is. I'm gonna tell you right now, Navarro. I don't know who the offensive line coach is. Man's doing fantastic work because we saw what we got out of Cayman last year. I'm telling you right now, Turner. I was equally as impressed with maybe not to the degree I was with Cayman because Cayman was so massive, but like I still was impressed by this tape. The first thing that jumps off to you is that the man is nasty. He pulls quickly and engages quickly. I mean quick. Like as soon as that ball is snapped, he's on a defender there. Very good in pass protection. He puts defenders on the ground quickly, and I mean quick. Like again, as soon as the ball is snapped, the defenders are either on the ground or he's blocking them. Like there's no wasted motion. That's very good. We know in the MIAA it's a physical conference. You've got big, fast defensive linemen. So the quicker you can get engaged, the better. He is a guard again. We need again. That's fantastic. I think the pass blocking is definitely the strength. If he could stand to stay on the blocks longer, I think that might be where Adam has an edge because he stays on the blocks more than I was seeing out of Turner. Now, granted, if you put in the guy on the ground within 3 seconds, I mean, it's kind of hard to stay on somebody that's already on the ground. But again, I think this is a very good pass blocking guard. The deeper we get on the offensive line, the more we can rotate. Because again, injuries happen. But I was very, very, very impressed by Turner Hilburn. I think this is a very good player that will work his way onto the field. And then the final lineman is the one I'm most impressed with because we have a glaring hole right now in tackle with the Cooper McCoy graduation. And that's senior Fresno State transfer Hayden Pullis, 6'5", 285 by way of Hanford, California. The tape I saw was of him in JUCO at Fresno City College. I'm telling you right now, you watch the tape, you see why he was a D1 signee out of Fresno City College. All right, this is a high-grade pass blocker. It gives up little to no ground. It's just been a problem. The tackle spot. Cooper did a solid job. It was more so if Mac was in again. I think Mac got beat by more speed rushers, and then again, the consistency from Noah, we just get more consistency there would be fantastic. Tell you right now, though, and this is a guy, and it's unfortunate to me, he only has 1 year in a USO uniform. This is a plug-and-play guy. I think this, granted, Reese did look really good. Reese Trammell looked really good in his limited reps as well. I'm sure he will push. But I'm telling you right now, though, Hayden, just looking at the way he's stonewalling guys, he reads defenders well. He knows when to switch off one onto another. Run blocking is not as high grade as the pass blocking. That's fine. It's sufficient enough. The main thing is, because we talk about the deep ball, right? We talked about the quarterback's ability to throw the deep ball. That won't matter if we don't have time to throw said deep ball. Hayden will give us the time. I think that's the most important thing there, right? I don't know if he be playing right tackle or left tackle, but regardless here, this might be, I don't want to say the biggest, but it could possibly be the biggest signing here because again, like we know we know, right? We know the how do I say this? Because I want to say that the depth wasn't good last year. But I will say, with people like Hayden just don't grow on trees. And the fact we got this man, I give Coach Doyle there a ton of credit, Coach Tweehouse, because this is a very good tackle. I could contest for all conference honors. I really think so. This is a very big signing. This should probably be a day one starter. But I would still expect Reese to push. Moving on to defense, now looking at the defensive line, we've got sophomore defensive end Braden Darrell, 6'1", 220, from Bigsby by way of Lindenwood. The tape I saw was the high school tape. Now, obviously, we've had good luck so far on defense with guys from Bigsby because obviously Jack Bucket had a tremendous redshirt freshman season. We're looking at Braden. He's explosive and violent. He makes you feel him like every hit is a hit stick. Disengages very quickly. He has a high motor, quick off the snap. He has a good spin move. Could stand to develop more of an arsenal, which I'm not as worried about for younger guys. I mean, that'll come with time. I said the same thing last year with Wesley Hudson, right? And then by mid-late season, he's out there getting meaningful reps. So that can come with time. But what impresses me though, he disengages quickly, and he's an explosive, violent guy, and I feel like we were lacking that on the defensive ends last year. I think because here's the thing. We know Zane and Hunter, right? Two of the best tackles in the conference. We were lacking the consistency on the outside. All right, I was hoping to see more out of Mike Pope before he quit. I was hoping to see more out of Lemuel Gordon. We got solid play out of Johnny Wilson. I'll give him that. We did get good play out of Johnny Wilson. I think Marcus Soul down the stretch probably earned more playing time. And then obviously Wesley Hudson came on there late too. I know we moved Zach more inside, so that kind of took away from that rotation. But I'm telling you right now, Braden's got a good chance to come in there because in my opinion, I feel like the end spot should be up for grabs. I feel like he's got a good chance to come in there and grab one because the tape is really impressive. He has that motor, he has that boundless energy, and he has the physicality that you need in the MIAA. So I'm very pleased by this pickup here. Then the next defensive end, we've got junior Kobe Kendrick, 6'3", 240 out of Manola, Texas, Manola High School, by way of Trinity Valley Community College. He disengages quickly. I will give him that. When I was watching the tape, it left me wanting more, right? Like I'm seeing a guy that he gets off the bus and you're like, that's a guy. But then when you watch the film, you're not seeing, you feel like there could be more there. You feel like there's a better player deeper inside of him that needs to be pulled out. I will give him this. I will give him the fact that he does get in the backfield quickly. He might not make the tackle. That's why I said he could stand to get a little bit stronger. But he will cause disruptions. He will get in there enough, I think, to allow other defenders to get there if he can't make the tackle. I will say, much like Zach, he plays until the whistle. He runs several. There were several tackles with him running the ball carrier down the field, way past his territory, right? Which says a lot. That says a lot about his effort, about his hustle. So that's something that you can't teach. You either have that or you don't. He did have a solid dip move. I'll give him that. We still could stand to get more of Arsenal too. But again, I just feel like there's more in there. I feel like I said, it leaves you wanting more. Like you see the potential there, even as is. I mean, even if he just disrupts the play, even if he just if he doesn't make the sack, but you force an incompletion, you buy time for Hunter, for Zay, and whoever else it is to get back there. That also is more than we had last year, last year at times. So I feel like there's more for Kobe. I feel like if we can just dig that out of him, we might have gotten a steal here. And then the final defensive end we've got junior 6'5", 250 Jaden Scott from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we did lose one North Carolina player in Steph. We gained another. From Jack Britt High School by way of Butler Community College. What was weird is like the early part of the film, he was left unblocked, just completely unblocked. It was interesting to see that. But I will say he did do a good job of making the play. He breaks down well, because there's sometimes when you do your unblocked, you come in there too quick and you don't break down and you miss the tackle. He did a very good job of that. I noted that he's a short tackler, good motor. He reminded me a lot of Wesley in the fact that the arsenal wasn't there. He relied a lot on his quickness, which, while good and while works, you still need a swim, you need a dip, you need a spin, you need like a throw off, right? Like you do need some kind of pass rushing move, and I don't think you're going to be able to beat every tackle in this conference just off speed alone. So that struck me there as something that needs to happen. I think he has the size for sure. Like I said, he's a sure tackler. He strikes me as he's still a little bit raw, a little bit rough around the edges. We could. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of Wesley Hudson. Like it was similar vibe to Wesley Hudson last year, and we saw what Wesley Hudson did. So I feel like again, if we get him in there, we get him coached up some. I really feel like, especially with that kind of length. I mean, we talk about Johnny Wilson, how he affected the passing lanes, had several deflections. There's no reason why Jaden couldn't do the same with that kind of length. So we have something there, maybe not as polished as you would hope, but I felt like he's another guy we can throw into the rotation moving forward. Then the final defensive lineman, junior Austin Williams, 6'5", 315 out of Tifton, Georgia, Tifton County High School, Garden City Community College. A D tackle, D tackle nose guard. This is very good, okay, because the depth behind Hunter and Zane is really unproven at this point because, again, we moved Zach in from in to tackle. I think that was like midway through the season, I feel like it was. So, you're still learning that spot, right? We have. I'll tell you right now, the middle of the run defense, we saw it improve towards the end of the season, right? We saw what Hunter and Zane did in that Pitt State game. Telling you right now, when one of them needs a breather, and when you put Austin Williams in there should be very little to no drop off in regards to the run defense because he demands double teams. He eats blocks well. Even if he doesn't make the play, just the fact that he's taking two offensive linemen frees up the other players for us too. Like I said before, he should help clog the middle of the defense. If we're looking in terms of a pass rush, he pushes the pocket. That's really all you're wanting there, right? Somewhere to Hunter, right? He pushes the pocket. You push the pocket. You force the quarterback out. Good things may or may not happen, but the important thing is he's not setting his feet. He's not able to survey the field as cleanly as he wants. I said before, I really think this is a guy, especially in the goal line situations here, massive man. So form, arguably one of the best three-man rotations at tackle the conference. Because to me, Hunter and Zane are both all-conference guys. I think Austin might not do that just because to me he's more of a pure run stopper. But given the run defense last year, we need as many of those as possible. So very, very, very good pickup here. Very good pickup. I would suspect would have a day one impact there. Should really help shore up that run defense. I'm going to the final unit here. Maybe the most impressive unit that I saw, that the DB unit, Coach Adam McGuire, Coach Kevin Neal there. We know the secondary last year. I felt like, again, it took us a while to get a rotation. When we got the rotation, we played better down the stretch. However you're looking, we are losing Cam Manahan. We are losing Amonte Davis, who would get a very good corner. He's got like 5, 6, 7 D1 offers right now in the portal. And then we're losing Jamori Ray to transfer. We're also losing Raekwon Wicks to graduation. So we do have losses there. There is a need. So looking at that unit, first up is Junior Wyatt Potter, 6 foot 200 from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Coeur d'Alene High School, Goudeau and West Community College out there in California. He's a strong safety. What I will say here, we know the fact not having Buckhead out there last year hurt. Telling you right now, when I watched this tape, I was watching a spitting image of Dylan Buckhead because, again, the feel for the game, right? He reads the quarterback very well. He's a ball hawk, as you're seeing here. The first maybe 4 or 5 picks, right? He's a physical player. I've been told Buckhead's the hardest hitter in the secondary, right? Like, this is a guy. This is very good. This is very, 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 very good. Especially because we're losing Raekwon Wicks. That's another glue guy right there. I felt like was underrated in the grand scheme of things. Wyatt has tremendous potential here. He also plays special teams. My thing is, this is very important because, again, you have 2 Buckheads back there. I mean, I feel bad for opposing quarterbacks. So, yeah, I'm very high on Wyatt. I think the film speaks for itself here. This is a fantastic pickup. I mean, he has the size. At 6 foot 200, I think that's similar to Buckhead. I just really feel like you're getting a good football player. Like this is what I'm seeing out of the secondary. All these guys strike me as football players, the same as the offensive lineman Turner Hilbert. Just strikes me as a football player. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't describe it. You either see it or you don't. Like that's you see like that's a football player. And that's what I'm seeing out of Wyatt Potter. Next, we've got a shout out to this man because he followed me on Twitter. Junior corner Willie Rice, 5'10", 180 out of Sharpsburg, Georgia. He's committed to high school by way of Cisco. By the way, it's good to see some Georgia players. We know Zion Bell's from Georgia, even though he played his high school ball in Texas. So I'm sure he's happy to have more down south people. But he's a physical corner, willing tackler, which is big because I know that was a knock on the corners. There was several missed tackles. I get that. I can test Jamori Ray might have been the best tackling corner, and he is transferred. So yes, that's very important that we have a tackler out there. But what's most important to me though is the fact he can play on an island, right? I feel like outside of JK and Amonte, we didn't consistently have that, right? And especially if we're focused on keeping Kobe at safety, which again, if we can move him back to corner, I feel like would just be tremendous, right? But like you look at this, he's shutting down guys, right? He isn't the biggest guy in the world. I think he plays bigger than 5'10". I mean, if you're watching the closing speed there, he's willing to lay the boom. He has high energy. He has good eyes too, really good eyes. He locates the ball carrier. if the ball doesn't go his way and goes and makes the play or tries to make the play. He has really good closing speed. He has he has high energy. I feel like we have to have that in the secondary. I feel like Willie Ross could be a really good corner. I truly do. I know. And we got Jalen Franklin off red shirt. And then we've got Keelan Morgan off red shirt as well, right? I think. I don't know. I don't know if Omar Brown, if he's there. I don't know if he's gonna be a safety or not. But regardless, he's definitely a guy that can work his way onto the field, especially if we keep Kobe at safety. But I'm really high on Willie Rice. Then you've got Jarrell Washington, 6'2", 200 junior, out of Fort Myers, Florida, Fort Myers High School, Trinity Valley Community College. Believe the last Florida DB we had was Barry Higdon. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, we'll take that back. It was him and Deion Holman. Oh, Deion Holman. Solid guy. But the thing that jumps off to you about Mr. Washington, he's 6'2", so we have the size. We know the MIAA has your bigger receivers. He's a D1 bounce back. He was an Illinois signee, played free safety. Again, another high energy guy. That's kind of what I like about that room. It's just that's a very high energy room right there. You kind of get that vibe. They play with a lot of intensity, and the guys that we signed, I think, fit that mold. What really struck me about Jarrell, he reminds me a lot of like 2022, 2021 Jonathan Mosley, right? Where he was extremely good against the run. Again, you put on that 2022 tape and you look at how many plays the man made in run support, right? Obviously, he got better in coverage this year, which I was glad. But I feel like that's what you're getting out of Jarrell is like a 2022 version of Mosley. Also plays special teams, which is, good. He's physical. As I said before, he could stand to close faster on the ball, improve overall coverage. It's almost like I was watching Mosley again from a few years ago. Big hitter, though. Big hitter, like I said before. Physical guy. He plays with confidence. I think that's another thing, too. All these guys we signed play with confidence. That's big, especially as a defensive back, because you will lose your fair share of downs. I don't care who you are. So being able to still keep your confidence up and keep playing is big. So I think Jarrell, if you tell me would he start, I don't know. I know he played a lot of DBs, so there's a chance he sees the field. But again, I just think he will shine in run support. Also, at 6'2", he could add 10, 15 more pounds, honestly. Because to me, he plays bigger than he's 200 already. So, that wouldn't be the worst thing. But I do think we've got a very good run supporting safety. Then we've got Braden Waters, 6'1", 195 junior, from Arlington, Texas, by way of Kennedale High School. He is a Northwestern Oklahoma State transfer. The only tape I could find was him in high school, where they had him as a hybrid linebacker safety. I will say this. We know Coach James Curley's special teams unit, especially that kick block unit, had a really good season. Telling you right now, Braden Walters make a really good impact on that. I think that's actually where he will shine. Because he might be a lot of Trayvon Craig. You recall Trayvon Craig when he first came to UCO as a walk-on in 2019, made his name on special teams. That's where I first noticed him. He kept making plays on special teams, kept making tackles, kept getting down there, downing the punts, and then he worked his way into being a starter and now playing pro ball. So I think Braden is in that same mold. Really impactful on special teams, really plays that with pride. He's a good open field tackler, good eyes, reads the quarterback well. He sheds blocks also extremely well. You look at, there's some clips there. He's shedding blocks against offensive linemen, against tight ends. Really, really, really good. I think he's stronger than 195. I just think he will. Will he play in the secondary? Yes, but I feel like day one impact, special teams, and especially on that kick block unit, that punt block unit. We got close to blocking several punts this past year, painfully close. We could probably get some. The way he shoots through the middle on that is bar none. Like, this is a top of the line special teams player. You need those guys. And again, who's to say that he can't work his way into that DB rotation? But I'm just telling you, this is a heck of a special teams player that will make an impact early and often. Then the final player we've got is junior David Williams, 6'2", 205, from Lorena, Texas, Robinson High School. By way of Cisco, he was a Houston Christian. Formerly, they were called Houston Baptist transfer. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be tough to keep up the field because he's got the size you want at 6 foot, right? He's 205. Should be able to hold his own against the bigger receivers. Again, you go back to Central Missouri, the length they have. Fort Hayes has some pretty big size guys, right? Should be able to hold his own there. Physical, hard hitter. Again, every corner we sign can tackle. And we need that. We missed too many open field tackles from corners that weren't named Jamori Ray, right? Like, we got to do better there. He sheds blocks well when they send him on blitzes. He gets back there quick, and I mean quick. He's a physical player. I mean, I don't really have a good comp for him. The best way I could describe, I mean, maybe he's a better version of Jamori Ray, right? Because we know Jamori was a willing tackler. He's a physical player for his size. David is bigger. I think David's faster. I think he's a more polished version of Jamori. So he should have a definite impact there. Again, what I like about all these guys, though, they're willing tacklers. Like, I can't stress that enough to you. All the corners are willing tacklers, and we just need that. Because again, the secondary, if we go in there, if you tell me right now, if we got a healthy Buck Height, right? We're running the safeties of Buck Height and Kobe. They're assuming Kobe stays there, and you've got Mosley still. You've got JK back there, and you get Wyatt back there now, Willie Rice back there, David back there. Because my concern, to me, the other corners is not as proven, right? Like we know Kyson had his struggles last year, right? Tavis didn't really do much of note. Thomas Webb has transferred to somewhere in Arizona. I think it was. We still got Jalik back there. You're still waiting on Jalik. Like, again, when he came out of Denison, I was like, this is a guy. This could be a 4-year guy. It just when he could take the next step would be lovely, right? And then we still got some good guys off redshirt though. I mean, I was impressed by Jalen Franklin. I was impressed by Omar Brown as well. He was like a 6'3" guy of Del City. There's Mekhi Belt back there. I felt like was Trayvon Craig-esque too in his play style. And then there was also Keelan Morgan that I was high on too. So I think this is very good because we've got guys now, they're rotational guys, that can buy time for not having to force the red shirts out there before they're ready. Because to me, the two worst positions to throw guys out there before they're ready is is quarterback and corner. Because to me, once your confidence is shot, that's a wrap. So I'm pleased overall by the class. I'm pleased by overall by the whole class. I think we got better across the board. We've got better in the trenches for sure. We've got better on the offensive line. We've got better on the defensive line, especially in terms of run support. There, I think we've got two really good quarterbacks that can come in there and push, at the very least, provide depth, provide more time for Connor and Carson to develop there. The running backs, again, he just added to an already stacked room there. So this is a very good step. This is a very good step. Interesting to see what we do on National Signing Day if we bring in any more guys via the portal. I think right now though, UCO did get better with this class. I 100% believe that. We got more nasty. We got more physical. We got more energy. Because again, we need more Caymans. We needed more JKs, right? We needed more Trayvons. We needed right. We need more Buckeyes, more Moses, right? Like we need guys bring the energy. I felt we were too flat at times last year, but those guys always brought the energy. So like I think this is very good. Like I said before, if we continue to build off this here, we should be in good shape moving forward. So this is a good step. I'm very pleased with this class. We got better across the board.